I recently travelled to Hungary to visit a castle. I went there because it once held a very distinguished prisoner, Vlad III of Wallachia. You may be more familiar with him as Dracula. Vlad III, or Vlad Cepes, ruled Wallachia in modern-day Romania 3 times in the 15th century. He was effective, if harsh, and he's remembered as a national hero there. Outside Romania, he's probably best known for inspiring the name of Bram Stoker's darkest character. You have to get the ferry to Visegrad Castle because it's on the other side of the Danube from the train station. When Vlad was here, it wasn't some sort of medieval dungeon. It was a Renaissance palace, home to his captor, King Matthias Corvinus of Hungary. You enter through the gatehouse to the east and walk the curtain wall to get to the main building. As well as being a palace, it was a formidable fortress too. There's no doubt that this place was designed to dominate. From up here you can control the land and the Danube. So how did he end up being kept in this mighty stronghold 400 miles from home for 12 years? Well, we think of Europe as a collection of well-defined states. But in Vlad's time, it was really a series of areas and peoples with borders that constantly shifted under the pressures of several empires. There was the expanding Russian Orthodox Moscow from the northeast, the Greek Orthodox Byzantine Empire rapidly retreating from Muslim Ottoman Turkey. Catholic Hungary was a powerful bulwark against the Ottomans, and the Catholic Habsburg Empire was even more powerful behind that. 2 regions within modern Romania have very different histories, and when you look at the terrain you can easily see why. Transylvania and Wallachia are clearly separated by the hard-to-pass Carpathian Mountains. Vlad III was probably born in the north in Transylvania, which was understandably affiliated with Hungary. But he came to rule Wallachia in the south. This was a crossroads of empires and presented a fiendish political balancing act.
Jézus áld meg Erdély földjét. Vándorfecske hazatalál, édesanyja fészkére száll. Hazajöttünk megáldottan.
Vlad's father was ruler of Wallachia and a member of the Order of the Dragon. They were devoted to removing the Ottoman influence from Europe. But for several years as teenagers, Vlad and his younger brother had been taken to Turkey to guarantee their father's compliance. They were educated there, learnt good Turkish, and Vlad was certainly able to deal with the Turks politically later in life. In addition, the Hungarians invaded Wallachia in 1447, murdered Vlad's father and older brother, and placed a different strand of the family on the throne. More than anything, Vlad's turbulent and violent life taught him that nobody was a friend forever.
Jézus áld meg Erdély földjét. Vándorfecske hazatalál, édesanyja fészkére száll. Hazajöttünk megáldottan. Csíksomjói Szűz Mária. Hazajöttünk megáldottan, Csíksomjói, Szűz Mária.
So why was he taken prisoner? Well, Vlad was 6 years into his second reign when he was being very hard pressed by the Turks. He asked the Hungarian king, Matthias Corvinus, for help. This must have been a very hard thing to do, because this was the son of the man who had killed Vlad's father and older brother. Instead of helping, they had him arrested, and to justify such an audacious act to the Pope, they produced 3 probably fraudulent letters which suggested Vlad had been in league with the Turks. He may well have been kept in the Tower of Solomon, which has been renovated and rebuilt recently. While he was here, Vlad III was far more of a political prisoner than some felon in chains. He met international diplomats, like one from the Pope, who described him.
Not very tall, but very stocky and strong, with a cruel and terrible appearance. A long, straight nose, distended nostrils, a thin and reddish face in which large, wide-open green eyes were enframed by bushy black eyebrows.
In the end, he married Matthias Corvinus' sister. History doesn't record her name. I think it was far more likely to be a political than a love match, because he eventually regained his liberty and went to fight once more for Wallachia.